What medications can be taken to help heroin withdrawals? The typical one that's used is a cocktail of anti-nausea medications. This can be Gravol in Canada or Phenergan in the United States. There can be Imodium to help with diarrhea, Tylenol and ibuprofen to help with the aches and pains, and Klonopin, which is helps with the sweats. It's a blood pressure medication, but can help with sweats and chills. None of these are going to really help with the worst of the symptoms, which is the intense fear, agitation, and anxiety, but they can help take the edge off of any of those symptoms, so they can be very helpful. The next medications are opioid replacement therapy, and these have become more commonly used now. The typical one that's been used historically would be methadone, which is a liquid and is dispensed from a pharmacy every day. It's known as liquid handcuffs because the user needs to go to the pharmacy every day until they have proved themselves trustworthy and can take some carries, some take-home methadone with them. So there's some problems fraught with methadone. It can also cause some overdoses if a person's abusing it. So it's starting to lose favor. The more commonly used opioid replacement drug is now Suboxone, which contains buprenorphine in it and naloxone. And the buprenorphine is what's known as an opioid antagonist, so it can satisfy the receptors in the brain so the person's not going through major withdrawal, but it does not cause the euphoria or the high associated with typical opioids. So what this does is it's a substitute for the heroin. It helps to prevent or remove the dope sickness, withdrawal syndrome, and to get them feeling more comfortable. And it puts them in the driver's seat so they can start functioning again in their life. And it's a very helpful drug to take. Eventually it can be tapered so they can wean off of it altogether. There are some depot medications in the United States that are gaining some more popularity now, and these are injected, and it's a long-acting drug, and it's very similar to Suboxone in the way that it prevents withdrawal symptoms, but it allows them to function, but it doesn't provide the high or euphoria associated with it. There are other studies as well recently that have shown that medical marijuana, cannabis, can help attenuate the severe dope sickness associated with heroin withdrawal, so that's one option. And then perhaps antidepressant medications as well over the longer term, because it is a very unsettling time fraught with anxiety and agitation, not only during the early part of withdrawal, but like detox, but even later on. There's an imbalance of neurotransmitters, and it might be best to consider antidepressants, which can help with anxiety at the same time. And so that's best to be discussing with your caring physician or your family doctor. So to summarize, there's a whole host of medications. It starts off with a cocktail for people who are in acute withdrawal, and this helps with some of the symptoms, taking the edge off. That includes anti-nausea medications, antidiarrheals, Klonopin. The next one is opioid replacement therapy, which can include methadone, Suboxone, and other long-term injectables that are given under the skin to help with withdrawal. And then finally, cannabis and consideration to antidepressant medications. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment box below. Thank you.